Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, listen to this. Just listen to this.
I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted seas, the sound here.
Oh my gosh. This lady is as pretty as she sounds.
To rediscover.
And she's coming to town, Robin.
Yeah.
Linda Eder is on the phone. Oh my gosh. She's coming to the Villages, right?
Yes.
She has performed at Carnegie Hall. Everybody likes to say, when you perform at Carnegie Hall, you like to tell people, right?
Yeah.
So just so that I could say I did, I walked into the foyer one time and I sang Bye Bye Love. She's performed at the Kennedy Center, Radio City Music Hall, the Palace Theater, the Wolf Trap. Which one doesn't fit? What is the Wolf Trap?
Maybe that's England.
She's going to be here on May 21st at 7 p.m. at the Sharon L. Morse Performing Arts Center. If she's never been there, I think she's listening right now. She's going to love that theater. It's a beautiful little theater. And then she's giving a master class on May 22nd. Also at the Sharon L. Morse Performing Arts Center. Linda Eder, it's an honor to have you on our show. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Where are you?
I am at my house in a little hour north of Manhattan.
Oh, really? In hour north? Where would that be?
Westchester.
Oh, okay. So you're coming to our area. That's such a nice thing. When did you start singing? When did you realize you could sing?
I think when I was a kid, I knew my voice could do things that my brother and sister's voices couldn't do. It was sort of like a toy to me at the time. I loved music innately, so I think I was just always singing from the time I was a kid, but always in private. I was very shy about it, except I would sing with my brother. He had a beautiful soprano voice until his voice changed when he went through puberty and became a bass.
Oh, really? So he didn't become the next Josh Groban or something?
No, he used to have this beautiful soprano voice when he was 6.
What is the Wolf Trap? Is that in England?
No, that's in Vienna, Virginia.
Oh, in Vienna. Okay. Virginia. I know Virginia. I don't really know Vienna, Virginia.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah.
So tell me about yourself. What are you doing at the master class? Are you teaching how to sing?
Yeah, I've been singing for a long time, and several years ago, I was always getting asked to, do you give voice lessons? I would say, no, I don't do that. I'm self-taught, so whenever anyone would ask me, to give a voice lesson, I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't know what to do, so I always turned it down, and I was asked constantly to do master classes, and I turned it down.
Really?
And then I said yes, and I was terrified because I felt like a fraud, like I didn't know what I was going to do, but the minute the first person got up and sang, I completely relaxed because I knew immediately what I needed to tell the person, I think,
okay.
I found that I really enjoyed it. So now I do lessons and I do master classes, and I think my style of teaching is a little unique only because I am self-taught and I'm very hands-on, and I have a very layman's way of explaining things to people. Singing is not easy to teach. It's not like you can touch the certain muscle and say, hey, see this right here, move that.
Right.
I have to find other ways of doing it, and I've sort of developed my own technique, and I really enjoy it.
Let me ask you about that. Did you teach yourself by listening to recording artists?
Yeah, like anyone. But the thing that I think helped me is that when I was a kid, I wanted to sing because I heard Judy Garland sing Over the Rainbow when I was 8, and that made me want to sing, but immediately I wanted to sing like an opera singer, and my favorite singer when I was 10 was this opera singer named Eileen Farrell. So I went around, in our barn, we had a hobby farm, and I'd go and sing for the horses and the cow, and
oh my gosh, really?
Sound like an opera singer, and that's what helped build up that voice that a lot of kids learned after the fact, they're listening to pop. Try to learn to sing more correctly.
Where did you grow up?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay. And you had that is such a cool story. So in the show that you're putting out on the 21st, do you mix the singing with talking to the audience?
As far as I talk like any entertainer. I talk, and I think I'm funny. I try to be funny. I've been doing this a long time. I like making people laugh as much as I like to sing for them. But no, I don't talk about teaching. I don't talk about it in that aspect.
No, but I mean, do you just tell us your stories?
Yeah, absolutely. I talk.
Yeah. I like that. I like when an entertainer, takes a break between songs and says, "Oh, by the way, I tried the lemonade in the front lobby and it was horrible." That kind yeah.
I'm right there with you because I've recently watched some concerts of top performers, and they're great singers, but it just gets to be so boring when all they ever say is "thank you" and then they move on to the next song. I don't get. I subscribe to the Judy Garland style of performing where it's all for the audience. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you.
I never saw her perform, not even on tape. I'll have to watch her. So that's what she did. But I know that, one of my favorites is Paul Simon, and I went to see him one time, and he said nothing. He played for 2 hours and never said a word.
People do that. I don't understand it. Listen to the live version of Carnegie Hall. That's the best concert Judy has on record. Then you hear her talking, you hear the energy. You can feel it right on the recording. It's like the greatest recording ever of a live concert, I think.
Robert and I saw this country performance, not live, but on video, performing at Carnegie Hall, and they looked really scared. I said to Robin, they're probably scared because they think a New York audience won't appreciate them, but if they're sitting in the seats, they're going to want to hear them, right? What was it like for you when you first went to Carnegie Hall? I mean, you fit right in with what the genre seems to be.
Carnegie Hall has it has a special thing about it. There's so many famous ghosts in that building. And as a kid growing up in Minnesota, the only venue I knew of was Carnegie Hall. So that was always my goal. And I promised myself I would not go in there until I was seeing it from the stage, and that's the way it turned out. So it is a unique room. I've done it 4 times, and it's unlike any other room I've ever played. So it does. I can understand you get a little bit of extra, but then you also get the wonderful extra that you get from that building. It's just in the walls.
Yeah. Does the way the sound resonates in the building itself play a role?
I'm sure. It was designed for live performing without amplification, so it's quite an amazing hall.
Do you know where you're going to perform here at the Sharon Morse? That used to be a church, so the what do you call the acoustics in that building are really good.
Yeah, they are. This will be my second time. It was really amazing.
Oh my!
Nice.
It was fun to come back, and venues are tricky. You can't always predict what's going to happen with an acoustics. Sometimes they try, and they don't. They can get close, but it's just the magic happens in certain rooms, and some of these older the best acoustics.
What was the rumor? I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but was it something that I heard? It was a Beethoven that used to clap his hands, and if he didn't hear the clapping sound resonating for 10 seconds, he wouldn't play there. Did you ever hear something like that?
No, I never heard that. But everybody likes reverb. I don't know many singers that don't want reverb. Every time I do a sound check, if there's no reverb, I'd say, "Can I get some reverb in the monitors?" And they said, "Oh, I didn't know you wanted it." And I said, "Yeah, of course. I don't like the sound of my own voice."
Oh my gosh, you have such a beautiful voice. So, like when I just played that little piece and you heard it over the phone, did you? I mean, it's beautiful. How could you not know? It's one question. I remember Johnny Carson asking Frank Sinatra, "Who do you listen to?" Because Sinatra was considered, the top of the line at that time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's good to be in love with what you do. You always got to be striving to be better, and also you have to remember that you're not hearing what's in the singer's head. The singer's always got something they're going for, and there's times when you make that mark, and there's times when you don't, because I have a preconceived idea of how it's going to be, and there was no such thing as perfection. You're just always striving for that. I think it's better to be that way.
And who is one of your favorite collaborators? You've collaborated with some of the greats.
Well, I probably had the most fun singing with Colm Wilkinson. He was the original Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. He's from Ireland. He's just a funny guy. I mean, we had fun in the studio because he had such crazy antics. And then I don't know if you've ever heard that original London recording of Les Miserables, but he did them. I sing "Bring Him Home" because of him, but I hadn't done it.
Oh, really? You have a song on your CD that you wrote or co-wrote, correct?
Yeah, I write country pop, but this particular song, and I did an album of sort of country pop songs that had one of mine on it, and that's the kind of stuff that I just write naturally because I'm a Minnesota kind of farm girl type of person. That's when I write, you're supposed to write what you know. And
I like that song. Is that the one called "If You See Me"?
The one on the record is I wrote the lyrics, and my son actually wrote the music.
And what is that? Is that the one though? If you
If You See Me, and the reason it's different from everything else on the record, but he's 19 and he's going into the music business because both of his parents are musicians. So,
What does your husband do? What does your husband?
Composer. He wrote Jekyll and Hyde, and he wrote Where the Broken Hearts Go for Whitney Houston. He's a songwriter. And
Oh, nice.
so he got it on both sides, and I think he's more talented than both of us. So, we'll see what happens with his career. It's just now starting to launch. But he had started writing music about 4 years ago, and he was playing the piano, in the house, and he kept playing this one melody, and he didn't ever finish it. He never wrote the lyrics or recorded it for himself. But whenever I would hear it, I'd be vacuuming away, and I'd be singing him.
Vacuuming away.
I love this. You are so real.
Lyric in my head that just came to me right away, and then when he didn't use it, I said, well, can I have it for this newest CD? He said, sure. So I wrote the lyric and then surprised him with the finished product, and he loved it, and it became the title.
Oh, wow. You should ask him to buy you a robot vacuum so you don't go to vacuum.
I have a German Shepherd, so basically it was a robot in about 5 seconds. They might as well rename them German Shatters because they're just, but I love the dog, so I can't be without one.
You did something pretty cool. You were showcasing other artists that had a passion for horses, and you were the interviewer, and you allowed them to shine. That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was the brainchild of, well, actually, I came up with the concept, but my friend was running Animal Planet at the time, and she loved horses, and there wasn't a lot of horse programming, so she said, why don't you, people are pitching ideas to me all the time, why don't you try to come up with one? And I said, well, I don't know what to do, but then I got this idea. She loved it, and then we made this amazing, 2-hour special, and it was so much fun. And what I found is that the idea really worked because, they're used to getting interviewed all the time, and I know the feeling myself. You tend to get the same kind of questions, and you do this, it's always about the music. So I found that by talking about the horses, you saw a whole different side of them, and it was really fun to go to each individual farms and meet their horses. And
all right, so I want to ask a question that's not about the music. I want to have at least one where I'm not normal. Let me think. What's your favorite topping on spaghetti? What's your favorite topping on spaghetti?
On spaghetti?
Yeah.
Parmesan cheese. Absolutely.
That wasn't a good question, then.
I had to do some questions last night that I had to just type, and the last question was, well, if you had to have a last meal, what would it be? And I said spaghetti.
Really?
Wow.
You're on a spaghetti roll. I don't know. I think your spirit was speaking to me right there.
How large of a class do you teach? Do you keep it an intimate setting for your master class?
Class size, people come and audit it, so that can be as big as you want. But as far as how many people get up to sing, it's usually around 15 people, because you give them each a certain number of minutes, and they get up there and they sing for you, and then I get up and I work with them in front of the audience, and that's what's so fun about it, is they will start at one point, and then they themselves and the entire audience can see how they change and how it becomes more effective just by doing a few certain things. And that's kind of like the light bulb aha moment.
I would like to gag you. I would gag you. I would like to pull a prank on you. That's a better word. Yeah, I don't want to gag you. I want to put a prank on you. I want to show up. You won't know it's me. And I'm going to get up there and just sing so horribly and just say, everybody says I sang good. I sing good.
Yeah, believe me, I've given voice lessons to people that are horrible. But everybody... And not everyone can be a great singer, but everyone can be a better singer, because it's all about muscles and technique. So anybody, and we all use our voices, so anybody can learn to sing better than they do now.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like fun. Okay, so let's go see Linda Eder sing and then learn how to sing from Linda. Let's see, on Tuesday is when we go see you sing. This is Tuesday, May 21st at 7 p.m. at the Sharon L. Morse Performing Arts Center. This is what she sounds like a little bit. Oh, I picked a bad spot in the song. I love this song, by the way. That's down in the Villages. For those who don't know, the ticket prices are really affordable, $25 to $70. Get the $70 ones. Get close as you can.
Yeah.
And then
get up, spit on me, Steve.
There you go.
Yeah. and then the master class will be on Wednesday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. Also at the Sharon L. Morse Performing Arts Center, also in the Villages. That's $25 to observe and $50 to be a participant. Oh, nice.
This is cool.
Yeah, and I think the Villages are so neat. All the town squares, the different town squares. So if people have never been to the Villages, it's worth going just for that. I mean, come to see me, but then you get to see these little villages and town squares. It's really cute.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to tell you where to go. Go to the World of Beer and get the pretzel. It is the best pretzel in the world. Right there.
It's huge, and they bring it out on a hook, so it's pretty big. Tastes great.
And if you like beer, that's a plus too.
Exactly. I'm a beer drinker. Yeah.
Linda, you're a fun guest. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today. That was fun.
Well, you're fun interviewers. Thank you.
All right, we will take a break. We'll be right back. Here is your 1-minute news brief. In Putnam County. A 2-year-old boy drowned in Melrose shortly after it was reported that he was missing. Early this morning, SpaceX pushed back its launch of a rocket to the International Space Station